what you're saying. So you just said that you've been in KLM, and the title of this podcast or show is how to save $1 billion, or maybe it was euros. I was not sure. So tell us about what you've done in KLM.
Yeah, and it's actually good that you posted it like that, because I was reflecting on it. It's some time ago. So what you typically see is in large organizations, this was a huge cost restructuring program. And then you said, well, it's an innovation program. And actually, I think you are super right. Because, well, first of all, I see this cycle where every company goes through, well, not every company, but a lot of companies go through, okay, years go and then they grow and everything is possible. And then, okay, we have bad times where we have to restructure completely. And then this cycle goes up and down. That for me is a signal that a company like that is not really, well, adjusting all the time, right? So within KLM that was happening as well. I think that's what the whole airline industry and many industries are about. But the airline industry, they're always struggling with the financial side. Somehow you cannot earn money if you are an airline. Everybody around makes money instead, but not if you are an airline. Well, a traditional airline. So what happened? There is a story before the $1 billion program, because that collided. I was having a normal job, as I used to have. And then typically what happened during my career is that I have a normal job and then I had everything under control. And then after a couple of months, I started to get bored a little bit. I looked around and I saw opportunities to improve. And I started to work on that next to my normal job. So somehow the topic of the turnaround of an aircraft landed on my desk. And the turnaround of an aircraft is you have to do all the logistic processes that you have to do when a plane lands before it can take off again. So that means luggage, unloading and loading, passengers in and out, catering in and out, cleaning, everything. So this topic was in a deadlock situation for years, and it was on the table of the board of directors, and everybody was like, I'm not gonna do anything about it because it's probably a career-ending move if you do something.
Yeah, because you will fail in no way.
Yeah, and the deadlock situation was a traditional one because it was the production side, operations, who had to do something. And they said, if we need to do something, it's going to cost money. While the commercial side, who said, no, we are not going to say how much it will save, because then the operation side is going to say it's going to cost you so much money. And it was a crisis again. It's always crisis in airlines. So back then too. So they didn't want to invest. So there we had this deadlock situation. And then somehow it ended up on my desk. And I said, well, I know how to do this, but I want to do it my way. And everybody was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. So
yeah, you take the risk, of course. So we're not touching it. So you take the risk.
Yeah, and actually, I think I was so not aware and sort of naive there. And I was like, yeah, it sounds like fun. And I know, and I was like, I really know how to do it, but maybe I'm also not so much doing all the politics when it comes to corporate. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's rock and roll. Let's do something cool. So I called one of my friends who was working in another role, and I said, oh my God, I said yes to something. Can you please help? And he's also quite a rebel. So he was like, yeah, sure. With you, I always want to go into these kind of adventures. So we were together. And so we started to prepare this topic. And I said, well, what we need is to have a team of people who do this work daily. So no managers, but I just want to have a pilot, a cabin crew attendant. I want to have a luggage loader and a cleaner. And so, and I want to put them in an office space, or not an office space, but like a cool place for a whole week. And we work together on that. No managers allowed. And so I started to build this multidisciplinary team. Well, it was back in 2012. Nowadays, we would say this is a big Google sprint or a design sprint. But yeah. So I had all those people, and then I said to the leaders, I had two executive vice presidents who were one from operations and one from commercial, who were the sponsors of this. I said, I'm giving you a very simple job. You just have to give me the constraints that we need to that we can navigate in. Secondly, you when we start this week, you just have to be there and give an inspirational talk to the team and say, guys, I trust you can do it. And then at the end of the week, you come back and you listen to all the ideas the team has, and you're going to say yes to every idea. So they were like, what? Because, well, the commitment to say yes to every idea, they were like a little bit afraid of that. But I said, well, guys, you give me the constraints and trust me that I will navigate the team, that we are not coming with very crazy ideas. But if you don't give me constraints, we will come with crazy ideas. And then afterwards, you're going to say, no, it's not possible. So I think there's a funny anecdote. So everything was okay, and we scheduled the week. And then on Monday, we were supposed to start. And the Friday before, I got a call from one of those two executive vice presidents. He said, hey, I cannot be there at the report out at the end of the week. But I have the solution. I'm going to send my deputy. And I said to him, well, deputy, that's fine, but not the one that is reporting to you. I want someone that you are reporting to. So we're going to scale up, right? And he was a little bit like, this is not normal. And then I said, well, if we don't do it, I really cancel the session, because I really believe that this is a super important element of the approach. So the other guy jumped in and he helped, and he said, hey, I'm going to call our boss to talk about this. They had the same boss. And this guy, that was the COO of KLM, he got so enthusiastic. So he cleared his agenda. And he was there. So the other guy was like, oh shit, my boss is there. Now I need to come too. So he cleared his agenda too. So, but this was all the leadership part. So what happened is we worked together with this team. We focused on the Embraer, so which was the smallest aircraft of KLM. The turnaround time before we started was 50 minutes, so 50. The team worked, and we presented two scenarios. So the first scenario that we presented is we can do it in 20 minutes. So everybody was like, what? 20 minutes? Because that's like 60 or 70% reduction. And then they said, yes, 20 minutes is possible. However, we are not going to stay within the constraints that we put ourselves to. So after the shock, the team said, well, more realistically, we can do it in 35 minutes. These are the 14 action points that we need to do, or the solutions. We can do it without any investment, and we can implement it in 3 to 4 months. So everybody was sort of relieved, because it was not the 20 minutes, but still it was like 15 minutes off, which was huge. But this was kind of psychological game. I didn't know, but afterwards I was like, that was actually a brilliant move.